And we're back. Episode 98 of the ZeroHP Podcast.
I was wondering if you were going to forget.
No, episode 56 of ZeroHP Podcast. We're back, guys. It's been a week, kind of-ish, sort of, kind of.
Yeah, we're back to normal scheduling now.
It kind of, yeah.
The world is set in order.
The world has gone back to its normal pacing. Things
Chaos
are back
has
on
been
track.
put in its place.
Chaos has been put in its place.
And I spout him upon the mountainside.
Yep, that is happening. Star Wars quotes are cool.
That's not Star Wars.
Okay. We're back, though. Obviously, I'm Mason. This is Ian.
No, I don't blame you because I didn't say it right. It's I smite his ruin upon the
That's what it was. That's why.
That's why you didn't know it was
the other one is from Star Wars.
Right, but that one is clearly from Lord of the Rings.
The Hobbits.
Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings.
Lord
of the Rings.
I was going to be close. It's been a while. It's not my fault. What's up, man?
Dude, quick week.
Crazy quick.
Done.
And that was it. I went to sleep Sunday night, and I woke up, and I was here.
And the only thing that do you ever have that experience where you go through your week, and if someone were to ask you what you had for dinner like 2 nights ago, you'd be like, no fucking clue.
No idea.
Because my life is just this melting pot of just
every day
spills slowly into the next one, and it just doesn't. It's all just kind of an endless slog through.
Dude, you couldn't have described it any more like gruesomely accurate. Like I have no idea. I told you when I got here, I was like, my brain's been on autopilot for 5 days.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember anything.
And that mud is attached to apathy. So it'd be like you might be able to think about it. You're like, I don't fucking know.
I don't care. I wouldn't care either. I'd be like, I'm just waiting for it to end.
So this week has not been like, well, the days go by quick and they slog together.
Yeah.
And I have my coworker Matt. He comes in an hour after me every day. His shift starts an hour later, and every time I see him, I say, "Good morning, Matt." And like on like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I was like, I just said that to you, man.
I know.
We were just here.
You have different clothes on, but I feel like we just talked about
this. I just said good morning, Matt,
I'm
like 25 minutes ago.
Did you forget one time and he was like, hey, everything okay? Like, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Really? He's like, are you all right? You didn't say good morning.
I'll say that to him. He's like, dude, I know. I felt like you just... he felt the same way.
He felt the same way. Okay.
He's like, God, you just said that to me too. Like, it's just, I don't know what happens to the day in between.
Yeah.
But I've been temporarily delivered from the slog.
Okay.
Because I can remember every night playing God of War.
Okay, so you wake up when you get home.
Wake up, go through the day, get home, do my like chores, or wait for Alyssa to get home.
Whoever that is.
And then like she gets home and like she gets dressed and we eat something and boom, she's on the couch and we are playing
God of War.
And that I remember really well. Every part of it all week. Everything I've done is like starkly in my brain.
So you hate the game. We're here to talk about how terrible it is.
We don't even need to talk about it yet or whatever. That is like when something changes. When I remember my trip to Europe extremely well.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Because it was so out of the ordinary. Yeah. It was so not part of my everyday routine that it's easier for me to recall memories of something unique. I think is what when we just run our routines and it just blends everything.
No, dude, I know exactly. It's a deep, dark, sad truth that you're pointing out that I think about every day of my life. God, it's.
But that's why I love movies and books and video games and
podcasts,
music and podcasts. Absolutely,
that's why we're here.
All of that stuff is like what helps me. Escape that a little bit, just a little bit in some ways.
We talked about it before, man. Like when I come through your door on Friday, it's not so much that like, oh yay, there's Ian. Not that I'm not happy to see you, but it's more like now is the beginning.
Yes,
like,
exactly,
like,
exactly.
Here we go. Okay, things can go to the way they should be right now.
The next 2 days are reflective of the way life should be,
and then we go back into the mud, back into the autopilot mudslide that is life, with a dim light at the end. This is getting dark, man. Should we switch it up?
How was your gaming this week, man? What have you been playing?
Yeah, I feel like I feel like we just talked because it was
on Sunday,
week ago.
So it hasn't been a full week, right?
A couple things have changed. Excuse me. One of which being Ian, why are you giving me the Heimlich on the podcast? One of which being my streaming schedule has changed a little bit.
Okay.
I have increased it, which I know this doesn't sound like a lot, but to 3 hours a night instead of 2 hours a night. Wow. God bless my girlfriend. I don't know what she's doing. I hope she's cheating on me. God, I hope she's cheating. Because
I deserve it.
For her sake, I hope she's cheating on me. Because whatever keeps her happy, go ahead and do it. So I'm doing 7:30 to 10:30 every night now, basically, except for Mondays. So I've been doing that, going hard in the paint, autopilot mudslide. Not that I don't love it, but it's a lot sometimes. A lot of Darwin Project. Been playing that. We kind of talked about it last time. Yeah. A lot of fun. I did play some more PUBG. There was the biggest update PUBG has ever had. Came out on Thursday.
Okay.
Maybe. Ish. Wednesday, kind of. I don't remember what day it was because I don't know what day today is. But yeah, biggest PUBG update ever, which we can talk about if you'd like.
Yeah.
That's all I've been playing. I wanted to play BioShock really, 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 really badly.
Oh, you know how I know you didn't play it?
Well, I know I didn't play.
Because I expect to be alerted.
You will
personally.
Okay. You will absolutely be alerted.
If you tell me, oh yeah, play BioShock, I'm like, oh you podcast done. Podcast over.
Where did you get a gun? What happened?
Yeah.
And then we go viral because you killed me live on a podcast.
Down by the road.
Yeah. So R.I.P. Chris Farley. Moment of silence.
Yeah.
Okay, that was good. Thank you.
Good.
I hope you all did it too. I hope you pulled over if you were driving.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of the road.
Or just didn't say anything.
Or whatever. Shut your car off right in the middle of the road. But no, I haven't really played much else. Just a lot of kind of different variations of those things. Trying to stream more. Trying to just do it. You know what I mean, man? I've been thinking about God of War almost every day. Haven't played it more than the 45 minutes I played it here. But I think about it a lot, which is weird. It's like
I don't know what to tell you, man.
I don't know what it's like. That one girl, you know, you got a taste and you just can't stop thinking about it, and that's kind of where I'm at. Except this girl, I could totally buy if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I just haven't yet, and I do want to, and we'll see what happens. But for those of you who were kept up at night wondering if I'd played it yet, I have not, and I'm sorry to let you down.
Nope.
Ian, what about you, man?
You're
used to being let down.
Yeah,
by me.
Well, no, by our whole group outside of Jimmy. I see Jimmy playing.
Taylor played it.
Yes, Taylor too.
Shout out to Taylor and Jimmy.
Taylor and Jimmy are both playing. And Tim doesn't own a PS4, but he has been watching a non-commentary Let's Play of the whole thing. And he is into it.
He loves it?
He's so into it.
Cool.
So the game is so good that you can just watch it on your phone at lunchtime at work, which I've seen him doing.
Yeah.
And he is like, and I walk over there and he's like, dude, this part's crazy. I'm like, shut the fuck up, Tim.
I love it, man.
Shut the fuck up. And I like slowly back away.
Is he further in there than you are in the game?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. So
what you been playing?
God of War. I've been playing a lot of God of War. I haven't gotten to play too much else. Usually, like now, with a game that's out like this, where I'm dedicating most of my time to it, I will play ESO over the weekends because Alyssa can't make it as late as I can.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because she's a healthy human being.
Because she
goes to bed at like 11:30 on a Friday night.
Sleeping habits.
And, I get up at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I go to bed at 2 in the morning on Fridays.
Oh my god!
It's no fucking sense. I don't know how I do it.
That's crazy.
But I need my time. I think it's like I'm tired and I go right to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a pretty healthy sleeper. I'm not someone who needs 12 hours. Some people need to sleep, really sleep.
Yeah.
I get my sleep.
Yeah.
7 hours a night usually. And
yeah, you've never been the guy who walked around tired, like ever. That I can. You were never like some people you see on a weekday and they're just miserable. And
I've been there before.
Yeah.
I've had days like that in my lifetime. But yeah, man, I don't need a ton.
Yeah.
But I need more than like. I've had days where I've gotten 4 hours of sleep. Yeah. I'm always absolutely exhausted in the morning. Because I just don't want to get up. You know?
But like I'm that way, but no matter what time it is. Like it doesn't matter how long I slept or what time it is. If I'm up in the morning, I'm just tired. That's just
only on weekdays.
Oh yeah.
If I were to get awoken, like it's Saturday morning and I'm only 5 hours into my sleep, I'd be like, well, I could just get up and go play games.
And to that point, I mean that's what I'm doing tomorrow, and I've done every weekend for the last couple
weekends. I don't set an alarm though.
I mean, dude, I go to bed usually like 2 at Friday night, and then I wake up when Cassie goes to work Saturday morning at 5:30. So I get like a cool 3.5 hours.
I
of sleep.
Can't. That's not enough.
And
I do need more than that.
So I'll be on tomorrow. But then Saturday night I usually crash hard.
Yeah,
So,
and you sleep late on Sunday.
and I sleep. We sleep in usually on Sundays, so which is real nice.
So yeah, it's really not about I didn't get enough sleep, I'm tired. It's my brain going today's another work day.
Yes, exactly.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Whereas Saturday it's like you're off. Let's go play games.
Get up, God of War. Kratos calls.
Exactly. So I've been playing. I'll play ESO tonight for sure. Probably once I'm off of God of War.
Cool. Now, quick question.
Yeah.
Your significant other,
Yes.
who the people are familiar with, does she enjoy watching you play this game?
Yeah, totally.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She plays a little bit.
Oh, she does?
I offer every time.
Yeah.
Usually, I just want to watch.
Yeah,
But every now and then, she's like, I don't want to play. I'm like, awesome, cool. Take the controller.
When I was playing, back in the day when I was playing Horizon Zero Dawn, that game I didn't finish. I would play
that I know you'd really like.
I
if
would
you kept going.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I would play it, and Cassie would watch me, and she loved watching it because it's such a crazy, epic,
it's
beautiful sequences, and the game's beautiful, and the character's cool. But then I would be like, "Do you want to try it?" And she'd be like, "No way," because she would see me jumping off cliffs and slow motion shooting giant robot T-Rexes in the face and like rolling and diving. And she's like, "No way, no way!" Like she had trouble playing like Overcooked, like without getting too stressed out. So,
but Cassie hasn't been playing a lot of games over
100%,
her lifetime, right?
Yeah,
because like when I met Alyssa, she had a PS3 and she played like Skyrim and stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
Like playing games. So she's like a little different, like probably. Level.
Oh, totally, yeah.
But it's really funny though when she plays because obviously she's cold, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been playing most of it, so
yeah.
I learned like the newer I don't want to call them combos. The first God of War games had true legitimate combos,
like where you could like multiply and stuff like that,
like a fighting game.
Yeah,
like circle, circle, triangle, circle, hold X. Like you can
true.
do different. So I don't want to call them combos, but there's different like basic button combinations, and you unlock new skills and stuff as you go through, and so you get better and better, and new kinds of finishers and stuff like that. So like she hasn't been able to play and see how to do those. And it's really funny because she basically just runs away and throws the axe at the enemies.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, yo, you're the god of fucking war.
Stay away.
Jump in there. Yeah,
Go.
It's really funny.
Go away.
But she does fine. She likes like running around and like puzzles and like doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Getting into a quick fight and whatever. And I'll be like, hey, if you click R3, you can tear them in half.
You can tear them in half.
Or you can pick them up, punch them in the stomach, throw them on the ground, and then crush their skulls with your boot. That's another option.
She's like, no, I'd rather throw the axe.
No, she'll pick it up. So she does it. So that's cool. And then like a big giant will come down. It gets paused and immediately handed
over. She's like, way too much stress.
The giants are too much. I'm like, bring it the fuck on.
Let's go, baby.
I love, especially the way the giants get killed, or just it's endlessly
always
satisfying.
epic. Yeah.
I can't remember if I said this the last podcast, so I apologize if I'm repeating myself. The feeling we always talk about, like you and I had the exact same experience with Last of Us when the guy backhands Ellie and you go after him, right? Like that's one of the most memorable moments of that game for me.
Yeah, agreed.
I feel that kind of like violent inner expression like every 30 minutes in this game.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Because like this, like a giant will come in and you go to town on him, you're fighting him and you're fighting him, and then you get to the end where you get to kill him, and you're controlling a little bit of it, and you're hitting him in the side. You're on his back, and you're hitting him in the side, and you're cracking off his horn and stuffing it into his face, beating the shit out of him, and you can see his like bone, like his skull, like start to break in a little bit, and then as he falls down, Kratos picks up the big weapon that he has, and he brings it down on his head, and the camera centers, and he crashes on his head, and he's like right there, and he goes, ah!
Jesus
and you're
Christ.
just like, yeah! And you're right there with Kratos, like you're like right there with him, and you get an ability where you can hold down the heavy attack, and it's basically like a held down, it's a stronger one.
Yeah.
And you get that pretty early on. It's like a skill that you can purchase in the upgrades. And if you nail it, it's a real long charge up. So the guy needs to be like stunned, or Atreus needs to be choking him with his bow and arrow. or whatever, if he's on the ground, and there's different animations for the same thing depending on their positioning and how they are. So if they're flat on the ground, or if they're standing up, or depending on what kind of enemies they are, there's different animations. But it's usually almost instant kill every time. So like it'll be like this huge downswing with the axe, and it buries into their shoulder right, and you just split them in half.
Jeez.
There's another one where you split them almost in half, and you can't quite get there, and they fall down to the ground, and he pulls it out of the shoulder, swings over his head, and decapitates them.
It's so brutal.
It's the most satisfying combat of any game I've ever played.
It's so brutal.
Best combat in gaming history.
Last time we talked about it, you had mentioned your kind of only slight gripe with the game was that the UI was kind of funky.
Yeah, it's a little clunky.
Is that still bothering you at all?
No, it doesn't bother me anymore because I get it.
Yeah.
I still think it is a design flaw.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're great.
But it's not.
But I'm no longer hindered by it. It
Gotcha.
just, when you first start the game and you're learning things, it's giving you tutorials. It's like, click on this button to do this.
Right.
Click on this button. It's just not. I've played with menus that are so intuitive and so brilliantly, and it makes you think about UI design when you get one that's not good.
Could you?
If it's good, you don't even need tutorials.
Could you give a better example? Like a game that if you could change the UI to match another game, like would you have it more integrated into the game, like a Dead Space kind of thing?
Dead Space has an incredible.
Yeah, but that wouldn't really work. That's only futuristic, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't really work. I mean, you could figure it out maybe. ESO.
Yeah.
ESO's all broken down. It's all labeled.
Yeah.
So it's just like a line. It's like
it could work too.
Inventory.
It has RPG elements.
Skills,
so
character,
same kind of format,
social,
right?
and it's kind of broken down.
That's true.
There is probably one that's in a video game that in a console game, because I'm playing on PC for ESO, but that I'm just not thinking of. Yeah, there's definitely ones out there that are a lot better and straightforward. Mass Effect 2 was really good. I could come up with some if I could think about it, but
cool.
it's just like there are menus out there that you like. They'll start telling you how to do it, and you're like, yeah, no, I get this.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Skyrim.
Skyrim. Yeah, I was gonna bring up Skyrim.
Skyrim is a good one. Skyrim is similar to ESO.
Yeah.
It's a drop down menu. There's category, and for each category there's a drop down.
Yeah.
And then you click on the thing. The thing is, because like there's runes and stuff you get for your axe and other stuff.
Yeah.
So what you have to do, and for your armor. So it shows there's a square for each piece on the screen. So there's a square for your chest armor, square for your wrist armor, square for your waist armor. So you go down, you click on those, and it brings that up. And you have to hit square to get into your runes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has a list of your runes, and you click on those, and it sockets the runes in there. Diablo. Diablo 3 has an amazing menu.
Yeah, Diablo. Oh my god, yeah, for sure. That's a
the
great
wheel
example.
around. It's just you go to the different drawings, you know what they are, and you know where you're going, and it's all laid out.
It's so quick, it's so easy to
real
access.
Fast and moves fast. So there's some good ones. It's just kind of obtuse, and you go from one to the next, and then you're like, wait, what runes do I have? Okay, there's like enchantments. I'm like, wait, where do I even find enchantments? I can't remember. Even now, like I want to upgrade. You get 2 magical abilities. One's like a quick strike, and one is like a big heavy attack.
Yeah.
And you get different runes throughout the game. There's a ton of them. They're all really cool. They're fun to experiment with.
Yeah.
And you can upgrade those. And I couldn't remember like this earlier. I was like, how the fuck do I upgrade? I can't remember how to get into that screen. Where is it again? I can't. It's just like it's not intuitive at all.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
I just don't care.
Because that's not why you're there.
If it were a huge problem, like if it froze up, you know what I mean,
true,
or like
it's a good point.
Stuff like that, it works perfectly fine. It's just not it's just not designed.
It's just ugly.
Yeah. And I'm in and out of there in 5 minutes, and then I'm back to one of the best games ever played.
For hours, it's a crazy experience. Yeah, that makes
so
sense.
It's just like it doesn't hold that much weight at the end of the experience, I don't think, but it's certainly something noteworthy.
Yeah, have you?
No game is perfect, right?
Yeah, exactly. Have you been playing anything else? Sea of Thieves.
I played one game for like an hour because Alyssa wasn't home and I was in the mood to play a game, and I picked back up
Skyrim.
No, not Skyrim. Hellblade. I never beat Hellblade.
You never finished it, yeah.
I didn't.
And that's not a long game, right?
It's not long. I played it for like an hour and I'm like, oh god, this is such a
So good.
game. It's just so interesting.
But
it's
I would
just so
imagine that the combat in that game would make you want to go play God of War.
it's nowhere near as good.
Right? That's what I'm saying,
But
yeah.
I played an hour and there was no combat in that hour.
Oh, gotcha.
It's such
Gotcha.
you know what I mean? The combat is like, it's weird. It's not really up front and center or something what the game's about.
Yeah.
And in fact, there's a really in-depth story moment that was just amazing. That game's amazing in a whole different, like, I wouldn't give it as high of a score out of 10 because it's not a technical masterpiece like God of War is.
But it couldn't be. You know what I mean? Like,
but it doesn't need to be. It's not what it was trying. It's not trying to be God of War. It's a video game that was developed with a different purpose in mind, and it does what it set out to do really well, and it's incredibly unique for those reasons.
Yeah.
Put on the headphones with the voices, and it's like, man, I forgot how impacting and disturbing that game is.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember you let me play like 15 or 20 minutes of it.
Yeah.
I think, and even in that minute, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
They really make use of directional audio. It's almost necessary to have like good headphones, or at least headphones with directional audio.
Yeah, don't play that on a speaker.
No, it would ruin the game. Wouldn't make sense. I feel like
it would be like, okay, they're talking to me.
But games have done that.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like, they designed the audio to accurately simulate a really high degree of schizophrenia. Not all schizophrenia cases are like that.
Yeah.
But they went for the one that like that's the worst degree.
Okay.
One of the worst degrees of schizophrenia. But they talked to like people, schizophrenic patients. They had come to the studio and interviewed them.
We talked. Didn't they do like a whole video series about?
Yeah, there's like a 30. I was watching them and I was like, I want to play the game, the rest of the game, and then go back and watch them again. So I'm definitely gonna do that. It's out on Xbox now, by the way.
Hellblade?
Yeah. If you're listening and you're an Xbox owner, that is now for sale. And they sold 50,000 copies on their first day on Xbox. And they donated $25,000 to one of the biggest mental health foundations. Yeah, and they said if they sell 100,000 copies, they'll donate $50,000.
That is insane. Do you know where they are? It's been a while since it came out. I feel like. Do you know? Did they kind of cap out eventually, or as far as
they just came out on Xbox One last week.
Oh, gotcha. So you meant it sold 25,000 on Xbox? It sold
50,000 copies on Xbox on the first day.
I thought you meant total.
Total? No. It sold hundreds and hundreds of thousands.
That is crazy.
I think it's probably almost to 1 million. I don't know. I don't know.
It was surprising that they donated that much with only 50,000. I was like, really?
No, that was just Xbox.
Gotcha.
50,000 copies. That would be really sad.
Yeah, I was like, what? Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, it sold 50,000 copies already on Xbox. So
crazy.
And I think that the game got a lot of people talking about it, and I think when it came on Xbox, like there was a group of people that want to play it. Yeah. So they donated to a foundation. It was pretty awesome.
That is great. That's crazy.
So good for them.
It's a good way to stand out.
And way to go, indie developing. Yeah. That game does not come across as an indie game.
Not at all. I was gonna say not all indie developing deserves a shout out, but they definitely do. A lot of it does. But
I feel like indie gets kind of a, not even necessarily a negative connotation, but they get a little bit boxed. Yeah. And it's like, oh yeah, indie games like side scrollers and 2-hour story walkathons.
Yeah, I would say even like the word indie, especially if you're a casual gamer, almost implies like, oh, there was a lot less money put into this game. Yeah. A lot less work.
There probably was less money.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of times it doesn't show, you know what I mean? Like with a game like Hellblade and stuff like that.
No, very true. And I think that there's a lot of indie games. In fact, I've been working on, I want to create, because I'm someone who, whether it's like school or work or anything, I don't know if I have ADD or whatever. I think we all have a little bit of ADD.
Yeah.
I may, but it's easier for me to like work on things if I write them down.
That makes sense.
In a list.
Yeah.
I think it's why I like lists so much.
Yeah.
I enjoy lists a lot. So I've been thinking about like making a list of games that I want to play that I've missed. Yeah. And like I'm going to split them up because there's a lot of, I'm realizing there's a ton of indie. I have not given indie its due.
No,
absolutely not. There's so many wonderful indie games out there that I've not played. It's crazy. Yeah. The Banner Saga. Have you ever heard of the Banner Saga? Really want to play those.
Yeah, Kevin started a Let's Play, I think, on those a while ago. And I watched the first episode. There was only one episode, I think. But I
think
watched
he ended up having like 2 total or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good. And there's a bunch of them. There's that one. Do you remember? I can't remember the name of it right now. The one that I showed you. That's like it's like a fantasy story RPG, but it's like a sports game.
Oh,
you have to like play that game with those.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and
I can't remember what it's called.
it was really good.
Yeah,
like,
it was getting like 9s.
Everyone was loving it for whatever reason, and
it's probably just really well made.
Just really well, yeah. It's so kind of out of left field, and people loved it. What was it called?
I can't remember, dude. It's gonna drive me crazy.
It's driving people crazy listening right now.
Yeah. So if you guys know what it is, comment below.
Comment, yeah, yell at us.
It came out for PS4 and PC. I know that. Of course, another game that didn't come to Xbox.
What's it called?
I don't remember right now. We'll find it.
We will. We will.
There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of indie games out there that like I really want to play. There was the next game that is it Bright Studio? Is that what they're called? Fulbright. Tacoma.
Fulbright. Yeah, Fulbright. Yeah.
Yeah, they made Tacoma.
I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I loved Gone Home. I know you were a big Gone Home.
Dude, I never played Tacoma either. And remember, we were talking about it before it came out. Like,
maybe we could do a Let's Play.
Wait. That'd be great because it'll probably be a short game. I don't know if it's probably like anywhere from 10 to 15 hours.
Right.
I'd be surprised if it was more than that. But,
that'd be a fun. So as we've talked about before, we're still planning our Dark Souls.
Yeah. When does that come out?
It comes out in May for PC.
Okay, gotcha.
So we will definitely be doing that. I can't wait for that.
I can't wait. Yeah, no, that's gonna be awesome.
Just taking turns and getting mad and
getting mashed. And
that's gonna be we're gonna use a controller for that, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't. I
don't think I could do that.
Play that. No, there's no way.
With a mouse and keyboard.
We have State of Decay coming out soon on May 18th, and I'm gonna buy it technically on PC. But I was thinking about it. I was like, I can't play that with a mouse and a keyboard.
I mean, you can either
feel weird.
You can either hook up. I don't know where your Xbox is.
My living room. My PC's in my bedroom.
You could.
I want to play it on my PC because I want it to just run as well as it possibly can. I want my stream overlays and everything. But yeah, I could just plug the controller.
Did you hear what happened with that? That's actually a news story I forgot to tell you about.
No, what? Tell me.
Very interesting.
Oh no.
No, it's not bad about the game itself.
Okay.
It's a Microsoft thing. It's a decision by Microsoft that I don't know. It doesn't make sense. So they were showing a demo of the game. I don't remember where. I don't think it was a.
Was it with 4 people?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I didn't watch the demo myself. I just heard about this.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of them. I don't.
I'm getting this from the IGN podcast, Unlocked.
Gotcha.
It's the Xbox podcast. They were playing the game on PC. They had said that we're playing on PC, so they're playing the game, and in the middle of the game, and people are watching. It's like a live stream thing. Like, an error message pops up and says, "The connection to Steam has been lost due to the test server or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Please reconnect or whatever it is." The Steam being the most important thing.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Microsoft has not announced that they're releasing that game on Steam.
Right. Yeah.
But they're playing it on Steam.
I mean, they had to be, right?
Right?
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Wouldn't you rather just have it on Steam?
I would 100% much rather have it on Steam.
Hell yeah! With all the horror stories I've heard from the Windows store.
Oh no, I want everything I can have on Steam.
Yeah,
Steam
I agree.
Other than that error they got, Steam is almost perfect. I mean,
Did you already pre-order the game?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Yet. That's the problem. Is you're right. I did hear about that. It kind of went for me because it doesn't really matter. I don't have a lot of experience with the Microsoft Store, especially not on PC. I haven't bought anything there.
Right.
So it didn't really matter to me. I did hear about this, but now that you point that out, I wonder when it becomes available.
You swept that shit under the rug.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you need to let me know if this is on Steam, or is it going to be on Steam 6 months after launch? Is it going to be on Steam on launch day?
Yeah, but why would they get the key on Steam now? You know what I mean?
And if it's going to be on Steam, why aren't you saying available on the window? Because they want the sale on the Microsoft Store.
Yeah, but don't they? I mean, they still profit from it selling it on Steam.
Yeah, I mean,
don't understand.
Valve has to give them the money for the game. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you would know more than me. Where do they benefit from not talking about it being other than selling it on their own platform?
That's the only thing I can think of. Selling direct to the platform.
But why is that better?
Because when you sell your game on someone else's platform, you're not getting the 100%.
You're right. You're only getting.
You have to give Valve X amount because they're selling your game. For you. Just like when I buy if you buy a physical copy of a game at GameStop,
Right. Yeah.
only a portion of that goes back to the developer and the publisher because they have to pay GameStop for selling their game in the first place.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's weird that they would hold off, but it also is not.
Especially now,
surprising,
it's like if you want to hold, I almost get holding off as kind of slimy as it seems. Like,
yeah, you have.
I kind of get it being like, later on. Oh, by the way, it's on Steam.
It's
okay,
on
fine.
Steam
But
now,
now that
yeah.
we know, and they're still not saying anything, it's like, okay, well, fuck you guys, because I want to know.
Because it was a big deal, right? It made like articles. I know I
Yeah.
read about it online. So yeah, it had to be. That's weird that they never addressed it. They
No.
were never like, oh,
Not that, at least I haven't seen an article that addresses it.
okay, huh?
Right?
Yeah,
So keep
that's
your
kind of weird. I will. I'll
keep your
my
peepers peeled.
My peepers are going to be peeled. My feelers are feeling. I'll keep them out there.
peepers peeled.
Peepers
feeling.
Feeling the peeper.
I like it. I like it. So yeah, that was an interesting little piece.
That is really interesting. Yeah, and I'm either way. I can't wait for the game. Whatever.
Yeah.
platform.
So okay. So you've probably seen more of it than I have.
Well, no, I doubt it. I've been purposely not watching anything.
So okay. As someone who played the first one a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
State of Decay 1.
Yeah.
What do you want from 2 that 1 did not give you?
That's a good question. I want it's so hard, right? Because the game, if you had to compare it to like a Bethesda game, right? Where they come out and people are like, it's going to be buggy, but we want it to be buggy because it's a Bethesda game and we think that's
I'm
funny.
past that, by the way.
I'm with you on that. You know how I feel about that. I think it's weird to rate a game well based on how funny the glitches are. I think that's ridiculous. State of Decay 1 did not run very well. Just the game itself, the inner workings of it, they were janky. You would jump through a window and it felt kind of awkward, but I want to be able to do everything you could do in 1. I want it to feel like a 2018 game should feel, and I think it will, especially with the backing they're getting now. I loved it so much. I want a bigger scope of an area. I want to be able to go to different locations. The first one there were different locations, but it was one map. You know what I mean?
Right.
One thing, and you could travel to different towns, and eventually you would just get to the biggest town and stay there until you beat the game. And from what I remember, when you beat the game, it ended, and that was it. Which I liked, especially for this game, because there's a finite amount of resources in the game.
So by beating the game, I mean, is there a narrative, or is it like a certain milestone you have to reach to beat the, do credits?
There's no
come up at one point,
like Dead Rising. There's a cult with a thing, and they attack the government. You know what I mean? Like that.
Right.
You're literally taking the story of a bunch of people trying to survive and leave. You know what I mean? There's like remnants of stuff that happened. There's military convoys crashed and obviously dead soldiers everywhere as zombies. So like something happened, but they don't really talk about it from what I remember. I think you can find like journal entries and stuff like that. But no, and there's only a finite amount of resources in the game, which I hope they keep. When you would loot a house, you would literally check it off on your map.
That they shouldn't get rid of that.
No, I love that.
Yeah, I don't think.
And then the house is empty.
Yeah.
You only have so much time. There's only so much loot to feed the amount of people you want to have in your community. You only want so many people, because if you have so many, you have to loot all day. If you have all these people and you can't keep up with everyone's needs, you have a medical area. People get sick. Obviously, you have to like ban people if they're causing drama and problems. So I love it. I hope they keep all that. I can't think of anything I hope they take out other than kind of those just little polishing areas.
Sure.
But no, I loved it. I love that there were different classes of infected, kind of like in most games, like
Left 4 Dead.
I was gonna compare it to Left 4 Dead. They have kind of their athletic, jumpy zombie, and they're kind of their fat one that explodes. Maybe mix it up a little bit. They seem kind of typical. Obviously, they are almost identical to Left 4 Dead, actually.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're gonna mix it up. They're gonna play really heavily into vehicles in this game, which will be cool. And then the co-op is obviously the biggest change, I would say. I did read about that. It sounds like it's just going to be like I would host a world and you would jump in and kind of contribute to my world.
Okay.
I don't know if you take over one of my people, because like let's say I don't have a community.
Yeah, I was going to say, what happens if I can only play once or twice a week?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how it works. I probably should have watched more of the co-op Let's Play they did, but it was like 30 minutes long and I didn't want that much exposure to it. But yeah, that's all I know so far without diving too deep, I've done very little research. Yeah, I mean, I to answer your question, which I don't think I did, I just want a more polished version of the first one, and I want more diverse areas and more diverse infected, and I'll be happy. I mean, I played so much of the first one, like more than you probably should. In games, I've always liked starting out with nothing I think it's why RPGs have always really appealed to me for the most part. Like especially when they start you out with like, okay, you're naked and you have a dagger, and you have to kind of work your way up.
Sure.
I always seem to get bored of RPGs once I'm a god.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I felt that was what happened with Skyrim. Although I played it for 800 hours, I never like beat the story mode because I always felt like I got to a point where I was like, this is really easy. Like everything
you're
I'm
supposed
doing.
to do that like while you're leveling up.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever.
No,
but,
I don't. I don't
like,
even know what the hell.
Literally,
what the hell did you even do?
I don't
like,
know.
That's what I don't understand. Like what?
Not only did I not beat the main story.
How did you even like funnel your way through the map without like?
Let me tell you. Not only did I not beat the main storyline, I didn't beat.
Not any of it.
I think I might have beaten the Thieves Guild, maybe. Other than that,
and that wasn't like when you did that. You were like, "Well, that was shit, and I don't want to play any other storylines."
No! I loved it.
Oh.
I think I beat it on accident. I didn't want to. I just was playing it, and I was like getting really into the Thieves Guild. At the time, I probably had a thieving, sneaky character, and I was like, "Okay, this works." And then I beat it, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go kill more dragons." My favorite thing to do in that game was hunt dragons. I don't know why.
Well, you know, like when you do the story, you get to hunt like all the dragons.
I know. That's like what the story's about. I know, man. I get it.
And then you can suck in their soul, and then you get magical, amazing powers.
Yeah.
Shouts.
No, yeah, I get
and
it.
like there's like fire, and there's the shout that pushes the people off the cliff.
I still got all the shouts. You can still find
you went
the
through
shouts.
all the you
go through all the dungeons, and you find the stuff you're not supposed to find.
But don't you have to go learn how to do all of it from the guys in the temple?
Well, I did that. I mean, you don't need that for every shout. You know what I mean? Like,
but you have to go. I mean, you have to go there, and they like show you the three. They show you the three shouts, right?
Oh, I got that far. And then, that's like 3 or 4.
Well, I know. You said you didn't play any of them.
No, I said I didn't beat it.
Oh,
I didn't beat it. I didn't beat it. I did play some. Well, because I read at the time, the further you get into the main quest, the more dragons there are.
Yeah.
So I think I got like halfway through it enough where there would be a constant stream of dragons, and I just.
Did you ever talk to Parthenax?
No, I know of
game.
Parthenax because I watched my brother play it.
You get to talk to a dragon, man.
And then he found the Minecraft pickaxe at the top, which I thought was really cool at the time because I was like 13.
Right.
But no, yeah,
you were not that young. That game didn't come out 10 years ago. It came out in 2011.
I don't know.
Oh my god! You were in like high school, dude, when that game came out.
To answer your question, I can't wait for State of Decay 2, man.
I don't understand your brain.
Did you want me to
understand my brain?
I know. That's why we hang out. That's why we podcast, man. If we were 2 Ians or 2 Masons in here, this would be terrible. You know what I mean? Like, if 2 Masons, there'd be no one talking. 2 Ians, there'd be everyone talking.
Be shouting over each other.
Shut up! You shut up!
I like this game. Top 10.
Mine would just be like an ASMR, like quiet. Like, hello.
Like, so
how are you?
I played a battle royale game.
I love Last of Us. Speaking of battle royale games, before we get to our news topic, did you want me to touch on PUBG's update real quick?
Yes, please. Actually, I'm super curious to hear about it.
I spoke kind of incorrectly. It's their biggest update since their full release.
Okay.
Since 1.0 came out. Obviously, 1.0 would be technically their biggest update.
Right.
But since that came out, this is their biggest release on Thursday, which would have been the 20-something of April.
You mean yesterday?
Sure. I don't know what day it is.
I
don't know what day it is,
it's
man.
Friday,
numbers.
Bro.
What do the numbers
Friday.
mean? Friday. It's Friday.
Even though it's kind of Tuesday.
This isn't a song.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday for you. Yeah. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Anyway, the update. Right out of the gate, it sounded like a lot of bad to me. Not bad, really. Like, we got more stuff, which is good, but a lot of really unnecessary stuff. So, to Miramar, the desert map, which is already known for having a huge problem with traversing the map, none of the vehicles work like off-road vehicles should work. And what they did to quote-unquote fix that was add more roads, which they didn't really do, and it didn't help anything. That was a huge problem. So what they did was they added a muscle car to Miramar, which doesn't address the problem, but it looks cool. So if you wanted a muscle car, you got that.
Yeah, because the issue are those damn hills.
Right.
And half the time the circle lands you on the final circle is on the vertical slope of a mountain.
Yeah, and you know what kind of cars don't handle vertical mountain slopes well?
Pintos.
Muscle
I
cars.
call them, oh yeah.
Muscle cars.
What are they called?
Well.
Corsias? I always call them Ford Pintos when we play.
Oh, the Dacias?
Yeah, Dacia.
The Ford Pintos.
Remind me of Ford Pinto.
There are...
Like, do not get rear-ended.
The Dacias. Yeah, definitely don't get rear-ended. Shout out to Ford if you're listening. But no, there were a lot of different updates. So they lowered the damage of ARs in an attempt to get people to use different guns, which to me didn't really make sense. I thought if you're going to do anything, maybe increase the rarity of the AR to make it more meaningful when someone finds it instead of everyone having an AR. Obviously, you're going to choose an AR out of the other options.
You're still going to choose it even with less damage because it's that perfect like mid-range weapon with accuracy.
You can probably put the most attachments on it out of anything. A good M4, everyone's going to use all the time.
Yeah.
I think they were hearing the hate on guns like the Vector, which is a garbage gun for the most part, unless you find an extended mag. And like the AK, people really hate the AK. So they decreased the recoil on the AK and decreased the damage. I don't know. I think they're trying to like spread the love for all the guns, which I get. One thing that's kind of cool that they added a separate class of gun, which is DMR, which I knew what it stood for. You might know. Designated Marksman Rifle, I think.
Well, I mean, DMR, so to my brain,
yeah,
which...
Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I think it stands for Designated Marksman Rifle.
Okay.
They added a new gun, which is great.
So what is like an M14, or is that its own weapon?
This is what this is what I was gonna say. So you have the Mini.
Which always reminded me an M14.
Yeah, really similar. Yeah, you have the Mini, you have the SKS, and now you have the FAL.
FAL,
which is a gun they added, which is great. They added a gun. And those three guns.
And then you like that one?
I haven't played with it yet.
I've held one of those.
A real one?
Never fired though.
Oh,
I've never fired. It's funny. I've held a lot of guns. I've never fired anything over a 22.
Fair enough. Where did you hold the guns? Where did they let you fire?
So my mother's best friend of life.
Okay.
That met in like 6th grade.
Gotcha.
Been friends forever. They still live in Portland, Oregon, and at their house, he's got a gun safe. Her husband has a gun safe.
Oh, cool.
At the bottom, and he's got a lot of collector stuff.
Yeah.
Including one of those.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, they're like the most issued assault rifle now, like across the world. One of the highest. They're all over the world. They're kind of like the new AK-47.
Okay,
like, as far as
maybe that's why
most commonly.
You know what? Maybe that's why it got added in because Radical Heights.
Watch, I'm talking about the completely wrong gun.
Probably, who knows? But either way, Radical Heights added an FAL as well if you're interested in that.
Okay.
But yeah, PUBG. So now you have the DMR class, which consists of the Mini, the SKS, and the FAL. What they did, which I like, is now anything in the DMR class of weapons, you can add attachments from ARs or sniper rifles, which is cool.
Yeah, that's it.
Instead of okay, gotcha.
Cool. Sorry, I didn't cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. So now you can use attachments from ARs and sniper rifles and put them on DMR. So you could have like an AR suppressor and a sniper rifle, which is really cool. It might actually help. So that's one big change. They did a lot of changes to the red dot. You can change the reticle color, which I like a lot. Although it is called a red dot. Whatever. And you can change the way it's shaped, so it won't be red or a dot. Whatever. You can make it like a weird V thing and like the 4-prong kind of crosshair that you see a lot. That's kind of cool. I was excited about that. They added 2 ridiculous non-needed scopes. There's a 3-time and a 6-time scope now.
Did it increase the amount, like the quantity?
Not that I'm aware of.
So then why?
Yeah.
Give me more scopes.
Like, give me more of what we have.
I want more scopes because that was always my thing. It's like, if you don't have a scope or you don't have something good by the time you get to the end,
especially in Miramar, you're dead. Yeah. That's the end. You don't win. Unless you're a god, you don't win. If you're in Miramar, especially, also Erangel, but Miramar especially, if you don't have anything over a 4-time or a 4-time, you're probably going to die. Yeah, they added a 3-time and a 6-time, which I didn't understand. Whatever. You know, that's not what anyone asked for, which is strange. Whatever. They made the level 3 helmet only available in a crate, which is good and bad. I felt like a lot of people had access to those. There were a lot of points where you would headshot a guy and he's alive still, which shouldn't be that available, I feel to most people. Yeah, there were a lot of little things too. You know, quote unquote optimization was done, although the game still feels really slow compared to a lot of other games. As far as like drop rates, other than the helmet, nothing that I know of really changed. And then slight, smaller patch notes, stuff like that. But yeah, new car, new gun. Pretty soon they're going to add the new map, hopefully. We're just waiting. And then a map selection option. I don't know if we talked about that. That is
a little bit.
That is greenlit, quote unquote.
So in other words,
R.I.P.
Miramar is never going to get played.
See you later, Kick Rocks kid. Miramar's gone forever, probably.
There's always, it's funny, I saw a thing on that same podcast, was it the Xbox podcast?
Yeah.
The Xbox community is like, they want Miramar because they haven't played it. I don't blame them.
They just got early access to Miramar. Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys are not missing out on anything.
I don't blame them either because think of how long they've been playing.
Well, they don't know. They don't know. Yeah, just like we didn't know.
They don't know any better. They're just kids. But no, they'll find out.
Yeah, real quick.
Just wait. How long do you think it's gonna be until they get the new map, Savage? You know what
I mean? Hopefully not too long. Hopefully not. It depends on how long. Depends on how much of a disaster it is when it comes out on PC.
Yeah, it'll probably be pretty bad. But yeah, that was just a quick thing on PUBG for those of you interested. We do have quick news to talk about.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Not like world-shaking news or anything like that.
It's a small tremor.
But today is the 27th, the date of recording that is, and they released the announced trailer, if you will, of Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Woo!
Out in September, which is right around the fucking corner.
That is how it needs to be.
Love that. It's too bad that I'm pretty sure the game got leaked.
Oh, you think so?
Well, yeah, back in March when they were like, oh, here's a 4-second teaser.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
All the information will be out on the 20th. I think they wanted this trailer to just pop up in your feed on the 27th.
Yep.
And be like, oh, and then September.
You're right. No, you're totally right.
Which is too bad. So it's kind of deflated a little bit. But the trailer was magnificent.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like, it doesn't really show you any in the game yet. And it doesn't even really go into like the story per se.
No.
But I think it addresses a few things. It addresses the style, the location, the theme about as far as like it's going to be Mayan. And they're always dealing with like, it's sort of like Indiana Jones where it turns out that the mystical power is real. Right.
Yeah. We talked about it before, like Uncharted kind of.
Right. Yeah. It's just like Uncharted. So probably some kind of like Mayan calendar, end of days thing.
Yeah.
And then what you and I both picked up on
immediately
at the end, and is going to be the most important part.
You know, 100%. So to kind of dive into it, if you haven't watched it, by the way, go ahead and hit pause, go watch the trailer, and then come back. We're going to kind of break it down real quick. No, the most important thing, which we've talked about in not just this game, speaking of Uncharted, we talked about how Nathan Drake, 4 games deep, has probably killed thousands of red shirt men. Like, he's a stone cold, just PTSD murderer. And he's totally fine with it.
And he's like, oh,
shrugging. I don't remember Nolan North sounding like that, but but yeah, if you remember in Tomb Raider, we kind of talked about it before. Tomb Raider, the first game, the first person you kill is kind of like a, oh God, I had to do that.
She freaks out. She freaks out. Never killed anyone. It was really cool.
An hour later, you're massacring
you killed 50 people
with a pickaxe and a shotgun, and it's a great game. It's incredible. And then Tomb Raider 2, I never played it, but I'm assuming
so good. Dude.
I'm assuming there's a lot of murder in that game as well.
It's better than the first one.
Really? Yes. I really do. This trailer really made me want to go play it.
First one, I would have given like an 8.5.
Yeah.
That one's a 9. That one's a 9 for sure.
Yeah, I know. I really do want to play. I think it's on sale right now on Steam. I'm gonna go check for sure. But yeah, and so in the trailer for the new game coming out, which is called Shadow of the Tomb Raider, she's basically Predator.
Dude, yeah.
She's or like Arnold from the end of Predator. Yeah. She's like in the forest covered in mud, and then like her infrared vision turned on, and she just. She's obviously been doing it for a while.
Well, I mean, we know that. We've played through her experiences.
Yeah, but she's very comfortable.
Now it's like second nature. She's a beast.
Crazy. There isn't a second thought. She's definitely a beast.
And they make her super disheveled and covered in mud and blood. Like they're not trying to like
it's very like I feel like in the first one and maybe even the second one, you were killing people to survive. It was like, okay, like I have to kill them or they're gonna kill me or worse.
Yeah, the second one she's become kind of obsessed now that she knows that this like supernatural stuff is real.
Gotcha. Yeah.
She's like obsessed with finding the next thing. Like she can't she can't function in society anymore.
Yeah.
So she just wants to go and she's like, I know what's going on. And of course the organization that like organized to kill her father and all that stuff, all that stuff she's just one track mind.
Right.
And so if you get in her way, you're gonna die.
You're gonna die. That's what I was gonna say. And maybe if I played the second one, that would have been more apparent. But in this one, it really felt like she was just on a mission.
She was just murdering them.
And if you were there, you're dying. Like if you're in the way, you're dying.
It was like psychological warfare. Like,
yeah, there's a group.
So,
oh my god,
so
There's
cool.
I think she like made a noise at one point and then shot a guy with a harpoon arrow and like hung him from a tree.
Yeah, and the
like,
guy turns around,
okay.
the guy's like hanging dead from the tree.
It's definitely took a dark turn. I couldn't
skewers one guy, like trips him on the ground, and
God.
then just I mean, with all like she's like Kratos.
No,
like,
yeah.
just plunges
Minus
the knife
the
into his
strength.
stomach.
Yeah, the same brutality. I mean, I couldn't
Yeah.
tell if the group of guys looking for her was, or if they were looking for her, or if they were some kind of security detail guarding whatever.
I think
she's
they're
after.
looking for her, or they're both looking for they're
one
both
thing.
after whatever.
That makes sense.
They're the Trinity, this Trinity
Yeah,
organization.
and so the biggest part of the trailer that you and I literally looked right at each other and we're like, okay, now we know what they're doing, which is important. She kills someone at the end of the trailer to kind of save the life of this young boy, it looks like.
Yeah.
And the young boy gets up and is terrified.
She offers her bloody hand to him.
Covered in other men's blood.
Yeah.
Just random guy blood.
Yeah.
Covered in blood. She's covered, her face is covered in blood. She's got all this like crazy mud, war paint on her face, like she's just been murdering people for hours. The boy is terrified and runs away, and she kind of has like this, she looks at her hand, she's holding the knife she used, it's covered in blood. I think it was green, but now it's just all red and dripping. She kind of throws it down, and she has kind of like, I feel like finally the Nathan Drake moment we needed, where she has kind of like this, oh, I should take it easy on the murder.
She like in the trailer, she's like, what have I become? What am I becoming?
I think she literally says that, like, I don't remember,
she's
something
becoming
about what she's
the
become,
people that she's trying to stop.
which is interesting. I wonder
really dig it.
if the game will be more. I mean, it has to be. That's what the trailer was. I wonder if they're going to focus.
I mean, if they're gonna make it
you know
that and all the dialogue in the trailer is one sentence being cut up with gameplay in between each sentence.
Yeah.
And the whole sentence is leading up to her basically admitting that she's like afraid of herself.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool.
Really cool. And we've talked about it. We wanted that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's something that her character needs right now. I really Camilla Luddington is a fantastic voice actress. And it's modeled after her as well.
Yeah.
She's a fantastic actress, and I loved her character in the first one because I believed most of it. I mean, sure, yeah, she's killing a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
but the first one, I felt for her. Like, they were going to kill her or worse if she didn't kill them.
The second one really focuses a little bit more on the tomb raiding.
Yeah.
There's a lot of combat.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more tombs and discovering artifacts.
Yeah.
And she's finds herself in the middle of a war.
Oh, okay.
So again, if you want to quote unquote justify the killing, she's in the middle of a war, and there's a very clear side that she wants to.
Gotcha.
That she's going to choose. So again, it's pretty justified. It's not like I was at the end thinking like, oh, they need to do something. But she at this point, she was obsessed. You know, people die because of her quest.
Yeah.
And it's like she needs to show some humanity again for me to really care about her at all. Because the one thing about Nathan Drake, as much as we can say is a mass murderer, which he is, he never, the style of those games, he's so full of personality and humanity in a weird way, which he shouldn't be after killing those people, as that many people. But he's so full of humanity and humor, and he takes care of the people near him, and
That's
it's
true.
just I never felt like, I didn't feel like he needed it.
No, I agree with you, but I feel like there was never a point where he was like, you know, I kind of feel bad for all those guys. I'm like never.
Yeah.
Like, I just want like one trailer of him and the wife and the kid drinking coffee, and they're like, you ever think about all those guys?
Maybe give him some Man, the
Dude,
monitors are profit.
How many backgrounds would you say you have? Like a lot. I mean, you have a lot.
I've got like 30 to 40.
30 to 40. Okay. I mean,
so
it's still pretty unlikely that at the moment
we talk about Nathan Drake, it shows
he just showed up. Uncharted 1, I think.
No, that's 3.
That's 3?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
That's in the desert. That's the lost city after he falls out of a plane.
It's been so long.
Yeah. So I agree with you. It's not that I don't think that would have been good.
But you're right. No,
I don't feel like when I think about Nathan Drake, I don't think about him being a murderer. I just love him. I just love him to death. He's so charismatic.
To that point, and to compare it to Tomb Raider, I never felt like he was the victim either. You know, I never felt bad for Nathan Drake because I was like, we're gonna get out of this.
Yeah,
Drake, we're good.
Let's go. A lot of the people he's killing are just like showing up and like they're like warmongering mercenaries and shit like who are gonna use this. And they're just trying to kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
He's always surviving, but she's a lot less. She's not bright. like he is. No, I don't mean bright like intelligent. I
Yeah.
mean bright like glowing.
Bubbly, like
And always himself, and always like they've right the moment in the first game where they show that she's impacted by killing someone, you open that door.
Right.
You have to get to the other side of that door now. You can't
That's true.
have her impacted and then never care again.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
got to be that point where she has to reconcile who she is and like what her actions are causing again or other people around her. So I love the direction. If that's the theme of the game, I'm so down. That's a day one purchase.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna ask. I know you were a big fan of the first two.
Yes.
I love the first one. Do you see yourself picking it up?
Yeah. Again, it's just dude. It's the same style of game, man.
Yeah.
God of War, Uncharted, Last of Us.
It's true. It's true.
Tomb Raider. This third person.
It's true.
Really, Horizon, like beautiful. Witcher, all those games. Like Witcher, obviously, is like a hardcore RPG.
Yeah.
And Horizon's like a light RPG. But they all share that you experience their worlds in the same way. Dead Space too. All of them.
Yeah.
Third person, and it's not like all third person games. There's something about a third person action game for me.
Yeah.
Like that is just my bread and butter.
Can you think of a first person game where you connected with a character that way?
I loved Halo. I connected to the Halo stories.
Yeah.
I don't know if Cortana and
That's true.
Wolfenstein. The new Wolfenstein games are really good.
Okay.
The main character's fantastic. Actually.
I felt like I didn't play Wolfenstein. I felt like Halo, or at least like 1 through 3, they were really cinematic as well as being really full of action. So I feel like you got a lot of Master Chief and his relationship with Cortana. So that makes sense. Yeah, that's a good point. But that's probably like the most recent example I can think of.
Yeah. Wolfenstein, and then outside of that, a first-person shooter that I care about characters.
I just feel like you don't get that same exposure.
It's just
you're
tough.
Not looking at them, you're not. You know what I mean?
And it's weird to have your character have dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like even in Wolfenstein, most of the time you're alone during gameplay, and then the cutscenes and stuff, or like the hub world in between missions, you go around and you're talking, and there's cutscenes where you're not in first person. You see BJ talking to people, and that's important, sense. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, for me, it has to be perfect as far as like for it to be a great game. The gameplay needs to be fun, and everything needs to interact well. But it's easier for me. Like I notice bad gameplay. It's more prevalent to my brain. Bad first-person shooters. Like first-person shooters get boring to me really quickly.
Yeah.
Not always.
No, they definitely can.
But there's rare ones that I really like. And as far as story-based, multiplayer is a different thing.
Gotcha.
Story-wise. Like, it's tough for me to, like, really stay in a first-person unless it's really good, like Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Or with Doom, the story is actually better than you might think. There's some pretty funny moments. Like, if you read there's a lot of journal entry stuff that you pick up. You don't have to read it all, but you read them. They're pretty good. Like some of them are full of personality.
Doom,
but it doesn't matter. I mean, that's me. Like from the story guy.
Yeah,
I could give a fuck.
You love Doom. Like we talked about it before. I mean,
it might be like objectively the best first-person shooter I've ever played.
Oh my god.
Objectively, it's not my favorite. Halo is my favorite first-person shooter series because of the emotional attachments and the storyline and the music and all that comes with Halo and the multiplayer and all that. But Doom, just from a mechanical standpoint, the movement speed, the different weapons, the way it's all built, and like the loop where executing enemies drops health and ammo. Yeah. And it's just this, it just never gets old, and it just cycles and cycles and cycles, and you could just keep playing forever,
Yeah, for sure, man.
So it was awesome. Yeah. Today's the 27th, so by next week, May 3rd is next Thursday. Yeah, that's when the next Total War comes out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm going to be playing that.
Heck yeah, what's it called?
I have the 3rd off, actually.
Oh, we talked about that. Yeah, you were
because I'm going to go see one of my favorite bands on the 2nd.
Dude.
So I had the 3rd off, purely just worked out that way. When I took it off, this game was supposed to be at the 19th, got delayed by 2 weeks.
Do you think you'll be done with God of War by then?
I'm going to try.
Yeah.
I'd really like to be. I'm about halfway through the game.
Okay.
And the reason I know that is, have you ever listened to the Game Informer podcast?
Once, I think, when you told me about it.
Okay.
Maybe.
Real good.
Yeah.
Real good
show.
I
would definitely listen. Like, as far as gaming podcasts go, there's so many of them.
I know you listen to a lot of podcasts.
I do listen to way too many podcasts. I could probably cut back on the amount of podcasts I listen to, or at least cycle them out, try some new ones.
Right.
But Game Informer is good.
It's great. Yeah. So it's weird. How much time do we have? A couple minutes.
We're good.
It's weird because like the host, Ben Hansen, like is not my type of person at all. But sometimes I really don't like him.
Can I guess what he's like? Is he young?
No, he's probably my age.
Your age?
A little older.
Does he act?
He's older. He's in his like early 30s.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Why?
I give up. I don't know.
Give up?
I just feel like he would be like a 19-year-old.
No.
Like...
They're all, for the most part, the Game Informer cast is older.
Gotcha.
A lot of them are older. Not old. They're like probably my age, between my age.
This is Jerry
and like 40.
Gotcha.
You know,
Gotcha.
Which is really scary because 40 isn't actually that far away from 27. I turned 27 in May.
That is crazy.
And that's really not that far.
You're one 13-year-old away.
That's one right?
Prepubescent adult away
from being 40 years old.
From being dead.
I shouldn't be thinking about that. But,
definitely don't think about that.
But they're all a little bit older. Like they're probably like one generation ahead of me, most of them.
Okay.
He's just kind of irreverent sometimes. And I just don't think he like. But sometimes he's like the two-sided coin. He's kind of irreverent, and he doesn't like a lot of the games that I do, so it just kind of irritates me because he just doesn't fucking get it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of the time. But on the other side of that coin, sometimes he's got a mean sarcasm sense of humor that lines up. So it's this weird like balancing act with this guy.
Okay, gotcha.
Where he'll make me laugh my ass off, and other times I'm like, like shut up, man.
Okay, all right, that's fair. I think
the rest of them,
that's a good relationship.
Like the rest of them, like Dan Tack.
Yeah.
If I could someday, if we could spend an hour and just watch Dan Tack and one of the older members play that Dark Souls. Oh, I love Dan Tack.
Yeah.
Just dry as a dry piece of wood, and just he reminds me of a lot of people that we know.
Yeah. Okay.
It kind of reminds me of like Jeff.
Oh, okay.
But like a little less, like because Jeff, he's so comfortable with us.
Yeah.
That he'll get all mean or whatever, and like curse at us and say mean things. But like Dan's obviously not doing that to everyone. But like that very just. He's really good at games. He's really good at Dark Souls.
Yeah.
And he knows he's really good at Dark
lets
Souls.
You know it. Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool people on there. Anyway, the whole point, the reason I was bringing this up, is because we were talking about like God of War, and they do basically book clubs on there.
Oh, cool.
So for God of War, they told everyone, because they didn't want to spoil anything, they said do everything in the game up to the point where you meet a character named Mimir. I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means. Well, I just did. Something, and then they said that's about halfway. They're doing a 2-part book club to God of War.
Oh, okay.
They're saying that's about the halfway.
Are you like following along with it? Like, are you
I'm
stopping at that point and then?
Oh no, I'm going to keep playing.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm going to keep playing. But I have it available now, so it's the end of the pod. The other reason I like that show, it's usually incredibly long, and I don't have as many podcasts as you do. I don't think I've got like the sports one, like my Seattle one I listen to almost daily. I've got the Lore Seekers. I got the 2 IGN ones I listen to. Every now and then I listen to Jim Sterling. Yeah, not always.
Yeah, I would say I'm really am similar to you in the main ones that I listen. You really can't listen to all of them.
But Game Informer, well, I can because I have such a long drive to work.
That's true. Yeah, I have like a 25-minute commute.
I hate trying to switch the podcast, and it goes to the wrong one. I forgot to like create play next.
Yeah.
So Game Informer, man, it lasts me like 3 days. They're long.
Okay. Yeah.
They're really long. They're like 2 hours long. Almost.
That's how
I love it.
Joe Rogan's podcast is. It's 3.5 hours usually. Yeah. Which is crazy.
Crazy.
But yeah, you come back to it in the shower while you're eating or whatever. Yeah. Like while you're just playing, driving. Work,
exactly. So on lunch, listen to it. So yeah. Anyway, so it's a good podcast out there. Game Informer.
Go check them out.
Lore Seekers. Unlocked.
ZeroHP.
Podcast Beyond. Cool. Well, they're already here. So
they're here. You mean it?
Just talking about the inspirations out there.
Oh, okay. Like ZeroHP?
Yeah, we're an inspiration to ourselves.
Yeah, we are. We are. Alrighty then.
All right.
Don't forget though, guess where we are now.
Seriously, so the Libsyn thing, that's our podcast service that we upload our stuff to, and then it gets it out everywhere else.
Yeah.
Took a while to fire up.
Took a while.
I had to mess with some stuff.
The engine was cold.
I had to tinker,
cranked a few crankers. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that's me. I'm a real.
He's a tinkerer.
I'm a real handy man.
He's a tools man.
I'm a real handy man.
When something's broken, I call up the Ian. You know.
I know where the gas cap is.
I know where the gas goes. You know.
But seriously though, it's everywhere now. You
everywhere.
find our podcast. iTunes.
We're on Spotify.
It's on Spotify finally. Google Play.
iTunes. He just mentioned.
What's
that
the
I
one
talked
that
over.
you have? That you
I have Podcast Addict.
Podcast Addict.
Podbay is another big one for Android. I'm sure we're on there as well.
Yep.
Okay, and it's the space Zero HP, no
one
space,
word.
one word, kind of ish, podcast. There might be another one. Forget about it.
Well, the thing is, they would get to it and they'd see it's like a year old or 2 years old.
Yeah, if you stumble upon the one that's a year old, that's not us, by the way. Just a heads up.
Because our podcast makes sense and just started at 51.
100%. Start at 51. Go ahead and kick it off.
Do you think we should have said one and just hard restarted?
No, I don't think so. Because our one is available. You know,
on YouTube.
It's there. It's always going to be there. People can if people.
Howard, you weren't even on the show yet.
What your
Isn't that
one?
interesting?
Okay, my one.
No, I didn't mean to, I wasn't saying like correct yourself.
Okay,
you
thanks
need to
a
correct
lot.
yourself, Mason.
You weren't there.
No,
you weren't there.
But I forgot.
Yeah, that's true. It was
was
Jimmy.
Like,
Jimmy was on number one.
Yeah, Jimmy wants to be. He wanted to be on last week's podcast.
Oh yeah.
I was like, dude, let's go.
God
We're doing it on Sunday.
Yeah.
And he's like, he initiated. He comes to me, which is rare.
The one time ever.
And he'd admit to you that it's rare. And he's like, hey, I want to be on your God of War podcast, which tells you what he's thinking about the game as well.
Yeah.
Like, sought us out. I was like, great, we're doing it on Sunday. He's like, I'm out of town.
The one day I cannot do that.
I'm like, of course you're out of town. And he's like, dude, even when I try to plan it out myself, I'm busy.
He knew. He knew.
So I told him, hold up, because I know the next time we're going to do like a straight up God of War cast is when I beat the game.
When you beat it, yeah.
And when he'll have beaten it too. And then he can come out at
and
that point.
I might have played it by then. I don't know.
Hopefully you'll have beaten it by then.
If I hadn't have beaten it,
because I wanted to basically do a podcast about the review that I'm gonna do.
Gotcha.
And I'm gonna really work on that and get that out like as soon as I'm done with playing it.
Perfect.
All right, guys. Well, this has been episode 56 of the Zero HP Podcast. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I'm so sorry that it's Tuesday.
Yeah. But if we helped at all, go ahead and give us some reviews. We're on things now, so go review. iTunes has, I believe, a 5-star rating system.
Yeah, dude, reviews.
Go check us out. Give us some reviews. Say
that'd be fun.
How great we are. Maybe we'll read them out loud if they're really good or really bad.
Yeah,
who knows?
Absolutely. I'd also like to think of a way, and I'll talk to you about this post.
Okay.
You know, I'll just save it for post.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. 105 already.
All right, guys. Thank you again, and later.
Later.